To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So this morning I thought I would work on this meat bird chicken coop that I thought about making out of coroplast. And so I've been kind of going over it in my head this morning, how I was going to do it and how I was going to film it. And I know it's always a process for me to figure out how I'm going to do everything. Well, this morning I looked out the window, I don't know, 7 o'clock, and one of the hens, one of the Buff Orpingtons here, was out of the chicken run. And I thought, man, what happened? How did that happen? So I looked around, and the one spot that I haven't got the 14 gauge chicken wire on, right here, it's not chicken wire, behind here is chicken wire, you probably can see that. And then I got this 14 gauge field wire, I think is what it's called. And they can't get out of that, there's just no way. So the only spot left that they can get out is this one side that I got postponed on. Several things have happened, I just didn't get this side finished. It's only been a few days. But the thing is the hens are, well, none of the older chickens have gotten out of this chicken wire. They just haven't gotten out the whole time we've had this. So it was really surprising that they were able to get over that. Well, it's not surprising. I mean, it's obvious that they can get over it. They just have chosen not to do it. I put it back, so I decided, okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna work on the chicken wire and get that 14 gauge wire up instead of the chicken coop. Although I do need to get the chicken coop done, so that's probably tomorrow's project. So I went back up to the house, and I'm gathering my tools and my thoughts, had another cup of coffee real quick. And I come back down here to take a look at what I needed, because I'm gonna need another fence post. I gotta go in the woods and get another fence post. And one of the hens is missing. And so I looked all over the place for her, everywhere. Went up down the hill, didn't see any feathers. I thought, well, maybe that fox came back. We had a fox around here a few weeks ago. And I chased it off, I think pretty effectively. But I thought, well, maybe not. Maybe he's still here. Or she, or whatever it was. But again, didn't see any feathers. So we're sitting on the porch and I'm just mad at myself because I hadn't finished this chicken wire, field wire, whatever you want to call it. I'm just steamed. And Carolyn finishing up her coffee and we're talking, well, maybe a hawk got it, or maybe the chicken's out in the woods scared, or whatever. And I was pretty sure it was a little girl. Now, I've gotten kind of attached to a little girl. She lets me pet her every morning. She comes right up for her petting. So I was just very upset. So Carolyn comes down here and she's counting the other chickens and make sure that the little ones, we call them little ones, are all still there, and all of them are still there. So, so we're walking around and we're trying to figure out what else we need to do to make sure everything's secure. You know, we got a little gap here that maybe we should make a little bit better in between there, and just different things. And I walk around and there's a little girl right there. She was, all three of them. And I'm like, how in the heck did she get back in there? We've been right here the whole time. Carolyn said, well, I wonder if she went underneath the chicken coop. So right here, they have the ability to get in between the chicken wire and the chicken coop. It's not that big of a deal. I was thinking about taking this down, actually, this chicken wire, because we got the 14 gauge wire right behind it. So we looked right there, and there was 4 eggs sitting there. So she's been doing this for a few days, 4 days. Well, this is the 4th day probably. So what I got to do now is I got to screw this into the chicken coop so that doesn't happen anymore. So I'm going to fix that, and then I'm going to fix the fence. So I'm going to bend the fence right here at this wire right here. So that's 1, 2 across. And the reason I'm going to do that is when I stand this up, this will lay right on the grass. And then I can put bricks on top of it. That'll keep the fox from digging underneath it. Well, it started raining on me, but hey, fortunately I've got my new GoPro camera here and it's waterproof up to 30 feet deep. Of course, you're going to see little spots on the lens, so I do apologize for that. I'll try to make this as brief as possible. So, as you can see, I have finished this side of the chicken run. So now all the sides that a fox or a raccoon can get into is now covered in the 14 gauge wire. I think what I'm going to have to do though is on the coop itself, I'm going to have to probably line this with some bricks maybe, so a raccoon or something couldn't get up underneath there, and then figure out a way to get into the chicken run, because eventually our meat chickens are going to be in there, and it would be a tough challenge for a wild animal to get over there, but it could be done. So I just want to take every precaution as possible. So we got a lot accomplished today, even though it rained. This camera is going to make things a lot easier for me now. So I'm going to get wrapped up, get the lawnmower put away. That way you don't have to keep looking at water spots. So I hope I can inspire you to have good fortune when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.